Today everyone, I'm going to discuss about factoring. The inverse of multiplying is factoring. So in multiplication, you find the product of the given factors, while in factoring, you find the factors of the given product. Okay, so let's talk about factoring the sum and the difference of two squares. Okay, so this is an example of the sum and difference of two squares. Kung saan makukuha natin yung product once na in-square natin yung unang term, then minus natin yung square nung pangalawang term. So, square of 7 is equal to 49. Therefore, ang ating product ay x squared minus 49. Ngayon, ang ating mga ipa-factor na ay yung tinatawag na sum and difference of two squares. Kung saan, makakakita na tayo ng mga ganitong example and given na kukuhanin natin yung kanilang mga factors. Okay? Okay, so let's have an example. So, x squared minus 100. So, ang gagawin natin dito ay i-square natin yung unang term at yung pangalawang term na ilalagay natin sa dalawang quantity na to. Okay, so ano ba yung square root ng x? So, it is x. Ano ba yung square root ng 100? It is 10. Ngayon, since meron tayong sum and difference of two squares, ang magiging sign ay isang positive at isang negative. Kung saan kapag pinag-multiply natin tong dalawa, ang sagot ay itong ating given. Okay? Therefore, ang factors ng x squared minus 100 ay x plus 10 and x minus 10. Let's have another example. So, our given is 9y squared minus 36z squared. Okay, so let's first get the square root of the first term. So, square root of 9y squared is equals to 3y. Okay, then, what is the square root of 36z squared? It is 6z. Kung ano yung isinulat natin dito, ganun din yung isusulat natin dun sa kabila. Kaso, magkaiba ang kanilang sign. So, therefore, the factors of 9y squared minus 36z squared ay 3y plus 6z and 3y minus 6z. Let's have another example. What is the factors of a squared minus b squared? Okay, let's first get the square root of the first term. So, square root of a squared ay equals to a. Then, next is, we will be getting the square root of b squared. The square root of b squared is b. Then, put the positive and negative sign. Okay, so let's have another example. 4x squared minus 64. So, we need first to get the square root of 4x squared. So, the square root of 4x squared is equals to 2x. Then, we need to get the square root of 64. So, the square root of 64 is 8. Then, let's have the sum and the difference. Okay? So, therefore, ang factors ay 2x plus 8 and 2x minus 8. Now, let's proceed on factoring the sum and the difference of two cubes. So, let's talk about first what is a square root. So, kapag may nakikita tayong symbol na katulad nito, ang tawag dyan ay square root. Kung saan mayroon tayong imaginary 2 dito sa ating index. O kaya ito ay tinatawag na symbol na radical sign. Pero kapag binabasa natin siya, ito ay binabasa as square root. Okay, next naman ay this one. It is the mathematical symbol for cube root. So, meaning, yung number 3 dito ay indication that it is a cube root. Next, let's have an example. So, this is a cube root of 8. Yan. So, cube root of 8. Meaning, hahanapin natin yung number na kung saan kapag minultiply mo yung number na yon ng 3 beses sa sarili niya, ang sagot ay 8. So, cube root of 8 is equals to 2 because 2 times 2 times 2 ay equals to 8. Another example is the cube root of 64. So, the cube root of 64 is equal to 4 because 4 times 4 times 4 ay equals to 64. This means that 8 and 64 are numbers that are perfect cube, which have a cube root of 2 and 4 respectively. Okay, so how can we factor sum and difference of two cubes? Okay, so let's have an example. So number 1 is x cubed plus 8. Okay, so kailangan nating makuha yung factors ng x cubed plus 8. Okay, so first, we need to get the binomial factor. So, paano ba natin makukuha yung binomial factor? Okay, so first, we need to get the cube root of the first term. So, the cube root of x cubed, it is equal to x. Then, we need also to get the cube root of 8. So, the cube root of 8 is equal to 2. So, since we have the plus sign here, ang sign ng magiging binomial factor natin ay plus din or positive. So, meaning, x plus 2 is our binomial factor. Okay? The next step naman ay kukuhanin natin yung trinomial factor base dun sa nakuha nating binomial factor. At ganito ang ating gagawin. So, ito yung ating binomial factor. Ang unang gagawin ay i-square natin yung first term dun sa ating binomial factor. So, kaya meron tayong x squared. Sumunod, i-minus natin yung product ng first term at second term. Kaya mayroon tayo ditong x times 2. Then, i-square natin yung second term dun sa ating binomial factor na 2. Kaya mayroon tayong 2 square. Then, i-simplify natin sila. So, x squared, kopyahin natin. Then, minus x times 2. So, kaya naging negative 2x or minus 2x. Then, 2 times 2 ay equals to positive 4. That's why ang ating trinomial factor natin ay x squared minus 2x plus 4. Therefore, ang ating factors ay x plus 2 at x squared minus 2x plus 4 para sa x cubed plus 8. Okay, so let's have another example. 8x cubed plus 64. First, we need to get the binomial factor. So, ang una natin kukuhanin ay kuhanin natin yung cube root ng unang term. So, the cube root of 8x cubed. So, since we know that the cube root of 8 is 2, then the cube root of x cubed ay x. Then, second is we need to get the cube root of 64. Okay, so we know that it is 4. Since ang ating sign dito ay positive, therefore, ang sign ng ating binomial factor ay also positive. Then, we will going to use our binomial factor para makuha natin yung ating trinomial factor. Okay, para makuha natin yung trinomial factor, we need to first get the square of the first term. So, square natin yung first term. Then, i-minus natin yung product ng ating first term at ng ating second term. So, 2x and times 4. Then, next is kuhanin natin yung square ng second term ng ating binomial factor. Okay, so 2x square ay equals to 4x square minus 2x times 4 ay equals to negative 8x. Then, 4 times 4 ay equals to 16. Okay, so therefore, the factors of 8x cubed plus 64 ay 2x plus 4 and 4x squared minus 8x plus 16. Okay, so let's have another example. X cubed minus 27. So let's first get the binomial factor. Let's get the cube root of our first term. So cube root of x cubed is equals to x. Then, the cube root of 27 ay equals to 3. Kasi 3 times 3 times 3 ay equals to 27. Then, take the sign of the given. Okay? So, this is minus. So, ang binomial factor natin ay x minus 3. Next, we need to get the trinomial factor. And we will going to use the binomial factor x minus 3. Okay, so we need to get the square of the first term minus the product of the first term and the second term. Then, square natin yung last term. Okay. Squared. Then, x times negative 3 ay negative 3x times negative ay equals to positive 3x. Then, 3 times 3 ay equals to 9. Therefore, the factors of x cubed minus 27 ay equal to x minus 3 and x squared plus 3x plus 9. Okay, so let's have another example. X cubed minus 125. So first, we need to get the binomial factor. So, we will going to get the cube root of the first term. So, the cube root of x cubed ay equals to x. Then, let's get the cube root of the second term. So, the cube root of 125 ay equal to 5. Then, take the sign. Okay, so we will going to use the binomial factor to get the trinomial factor. First, we need to square the first term minus the product of the first term and the second term. Then, square natin yung last term. Then, simplify. So, x squared. X times negative 5 ay negative 5x times negative ay equals to positive 5x. Then, 5 times 5 ay equals to 25. Therefore, ang factors ng x cubed minus 125 ay equals to x minus 5 and x squared plus 5x plus 25. Okay, so in factoring sum and difference of two squares, a binomial is said to be the difference of two squares if the terms are both perfect squares. So in factoring sum and difference of two cubes, The binomial factor is the sum of the cube roots if the sign of the given cube of binomial is positive. And in factoring sum and difference of two cubes, the binomial factor is the difference of the cube roots if the sign of the given cube of binomial is negative. And that's all. Thank you for watching.